guys doing? Welcome to the show. Thanks for popping by. And happy Friday to you all. I hope you're all safe and sound wherever you are. Sheltered. And your loved ones. And super happy to have a chance to play for you. This has been really great for me, actually. I haven't played so much solo piano maybe ever in front of people. So, hey Seth, how you doing? Be good, man. So this has been a real great workout for me. In fact, working out some stuff that I want to, once normal operating procedures resume in the world and performances come back live, this is some of the stuff that I would like to bring forth. So thanks for letting me explore this stuff. And yeah, I'm gonna play some more music. And thanks again for hanging out. And I'll take questions. Oh man, El Matador. I'm gonna have to remember that one. I'm just gonna say requests. Pablo, you're making me reach way back. I'll try. Let me see. See if I can slip it in there. Thank you, Seth. That was Infinize by Wayne Shorter. It's like a endless stream of melodies with that guy. It's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. I was recently sort of reintroducing a friend and myself really to his music, and it just blows my mind to hear it again, and all these great songs and these great records is just pretty overwhelming. But love you, Wayne, and thank you. Let's see. We've got some more music. It's like we're really playing a gig here. Hey, I just want to let you know I've been working on it's this really cool site called Patreon, if you haven't heard of it, and it's a way you can sort of get in on the inside of what the musicians that you enjoy listening to in their process, and Fred Hirsch is on there now, and myself, and a bunch of other friends, great singer Becca Stevens. But anyway, there's the advertisement right there. Look at that. Still working on the tiers, which means the different levels you can join, but even like $5 kind of gets you a bunch of exclusive videos that I'm uploading, and you can even take some private lesson if you want to do that. Anyway, you can check that out if you're interested. And thank you guys for hanging out. Play some more. Went up north to be with you. There was no one home. Walked that town, but I came back all alone. The butcher said it had been a while. The banker said you'd gone. Cashed in all your pennies with a smile. Did you go back to Las Vegas to fetch that heart you lost? Could it be that you found the one to make you feel so fine?
my sweet, sweet Caroline. still hear your crazy laugh as we rolled on down that hill. Now it's winter time and I lie awake, drinking cold plum wine. Where are you, my sweet, sweet Caroline? Oh, 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 wow. Buster, how are you? So great to see you, man. One of the great bass players of all time, Buster Williams. Wow. Hope to play again, man, soon. That was a song of mine called Sweet Caroline, and hope you enjoyed that. Let's see, Jesse, any requests? I saw a couple pop up that I'm systematically sifting through and not ignoring exactly because I can't remember those songs. But anyway, I can play some stuff till I see some more things pop up. flight of fancy there. A couple of things in that one. Of course, Take the A Train, Billy Strayhorn, and Chris mixed up with Chris Potter's Okinawa. One of my favorite songs of Chris is just, he really beautiful. I'm trying to remember the, Chris will have to weigh in on which, maybe you guys know that scale. It's the, is that the peon? Sounds kind of weird to say that's the scale. I can't remember. Oh gosh. Anyway. Let's see. Play some more music before I fill in my mouth fully with my feet. A little round midnight on request. Thank you for that. I'm not noticing if there are any questions other than the occasional requestions we're looking for. But anyway, thank you guys so much for hanging out, and please visit my Patreon site if you're interested in checking out more music. And I'm actually planning on some pretty cool collaborations coming up very soon, and releasing some exclusive videos on there, and working on some stuff with Gregoire Marais, the great harmonica player, and some other guys that I can't really mention yet because it's kind of a secret. They know about it, but you got to be on the inside. But oh my gosh, teach you a short riff. What was it? Over All of Me? All of Me, wow. Well, let's see. A riff. Not a rift. I have a bit of a rift with riffs. One time I was playing a jam session or something. Not even that. It might have been a real gig, and somebody called All of You, and I heard All of Me. My brain said All of Me. So they started playing, and I said, wow, they're in a different key, so I need to learn this now in this key. And I was starting to get funny looks, which is not unusual, but this time it was getting really weird, and I thought, oh, what's wrong? They're not playing the same song as I am. So finally it came, I realized, oh, they called All of You, not All of Me. So let that be a lesson. Listen carefully. You did say All of Me, right? trying to think riff-wise. I don't really think so much in riffs anymore, but like I think more sort of scales, and then the riffs are within there, and it can be kind of anything. But if you listen to some of obviously the great classic players from the swing era and the bebop era, I mean, you'll hear stuff like. Something like that. On the rebroadcast of that, you could learn maybe at any one of those little licks that I played. But I tend when I play to try to actually avoid, at least as much as I'm able, conscious of playing licks, even though there's all kinds of language stuff that we do as jazz musicians, that's just sort of baked in from our studies and experience and listening to the great players, masters, people like Sonny Rollins and Charlie Parker and Thelonious Monk and guys of that era and those eras and later, and then you sort of just kind of combine that all up. But I generally try to sort of forget about all of that when I'm actually playing. It's all sort of back there, but I really try to clear my mind of any sort of plan, as you might be able to tell from what I'm doing, and with varying degrees of success. That's always the risk you take. And hey, Carol, how you doing? My love to you guys, you and Steve. So yeah, I'm generally trying to sort of really be sort of on that edge. I find I play my best, at least I think it's my best, or at best I'm able to in the moment, when I really let go of any preconceived notions of what it's supposed to be. I was listening to this great interview recently that Wayne Shorter gave, speaking of Wayne and his band, and I kind of knew this would be the policy, if you will, with Wayne, but just this idea of it's not an entire lack of preparedness at all, but in terms of how do you prepare for the moment except for just being in the last one, and so that's kind of my philosophy as well, and I find that I like how I play the best when I'm on that sort of edge, and I don't really know what's coming next. That's for me the fun of improvising. I think jazz would have much less appeal for me if it was all written out, and it's still, even if it had the same elements in terms of the feeling, and I mean it would still be fun, but you're taking a huge bite out of it when you take away the spontaneous and the unknown, and even chance. I mean, even making mistakes, a slip of a finger, on the quote unquote wrong note. It's sort of like life, it's not so much the art in it art of it is often not what you planned ahead of it, but how you kind of recovered from the fall, and you can almost create a situation where you're intentionally tripping yourself up just to see how you can get back on your feet. At least that's sort of the game that I enjoy playing when I play, when I improvise. And of course, all kinds of things come out when I take the reins off of this, pretty both wild on the one hand, sort of horse, if I can use that analogy. I don't know much about horses. I do love them, but this idea of just the wild versus the constraint, and both have their merits. The argument of adding a constraint in that can send you off into another direction is as valid as complete freedom, where you can absolutely fall on your face very easily. But it's this kind of dance, and so I'm just reading a comment here. Got to put in many more hours. I do. As planned stuff I can change rhythmically. Can't find notes. Wow. Just keep searching, man. Or, finding. The thing is, there's, we've heard it said, for all the musicians out there who are really kind of trying this thing, we've heard it said, okay, someone like Miles Davis, there's no wrong notes. And it really is true. I mean, there's only 12 notes in the chromatic scale. So it's, yeah, there are only 12 notes in the chromatic scale, and at least half of them are in the scale that you're playing. So you're just not, you're never far. You're only a half step away at any given time. So as long as there's grace notes everywhere, you're really on very safe ground when you improvise. However, you got to know what notes are in the scale and what are outside of the scale. So that's, of course, important. These are just sort of technical things. Of course, there's a lot more to it than that, and there's language and things like that. So if that makes sense, that's a little bit of how I look at it. When I teach, I give some exercises, harmonic exercises, which involve looking at harmony, much like the keyboard is laid out, horizontally versus vertically, which is how chords are written. If you think of chords as being just in thirds, you're kind of missing all of this beautiful in between, which is really the whole sound is of C major is that, is that whole scale. That's every color that's possible there. Of course, the 4 is a special note, that's suspended note, and things like that. But yeah. So I tend to, when I teach, I look at I talk about playing harmony is really about moving from one scale to the next, and you see where those overlap, where the common tones are between these different scales. You'll have, 4, 2 to 5, say, notes that are common to each scale. So you're really very close at all times to home base, so a lot of times we're really, as improvisers, we can tend to walk on eggshells, and that could be that we're just sort of not really aware how close everything is. It's like you're on it's like the black notes could be seen as sort of a ledge, and you're really not going to fall very far just by going down to the white notes. It's a little topographical illustration, of the thing. So anyway, so maybe I'll play a little bit more, and if there's any other questions, and then we'll call it a session. And thanks for hanging out. am a lineman for the county, and I drive the main road, searching in the sun for another overload. I hear you singing in the wire, I can hear you through the wine, and the Wichita lineman is still on the line. I know I need a small vacation, but it don't look like rain. And if it snows, that stretch down south won't ever stand the strain. And I need you more than want you, and I want you for all time. And the Wichita lineman is still on the line. Oh, oh, oh. I want you for all time. And the Wichita lineman, I'm still on the line, still on the line, oh, 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 still on the line. I'm still on the line. I'm still on the line. I'm still on line. That's Jimmy Webb, great songwriter. His very wonderful song "Wichita Lineman" made famous, I think, by originally by Glenn Campbell, and so many great singers have sung it. I don't know if I will enter those ranks, but I'm sure fond of the song. But thanks for letting me sing that. And you can't really stop me, but I appreciate it. And I think I'll play one more. Jesse, if there's any other questions, thank you guys for your hanging out. I hope you enjoyed the music. I hope you're safe and sound, and we will get through this whole mess together. And yeah. Oh wow, Meters. I don't know that version of the Meters singing Wichita Lineman. I'm gonna check that after we're done. I bet it's funky. Is that possible? How would they do it? They do it like a ballad, right? Pretty great. Hey, Oren. Okay, so I'm gonna play one more song. Thanks for hanging out, and next Friday, same time, same bat channel. I'll just share. I had the great pleasure once again to play with. Speaking of Bat Channel, that's an old Batman reference. I had the great honor of playing with the great Ron Carter before the New York City shut down in mid March, and we were playing a run at Smoke Jazz Club in the city with Al Foster, and it was, really everything was just kind of shutting down, and we were like, wow, should we even be playing? But the audience was coming out, and they were just reducing the amount of people that could be in one space, and it's a small club to begin with, and a decent amount of social distancing, that kind of thing already, but it wasn't, it was ready to go. Anyway, but Ron was there and sounded incredible, and it was amazing to play with him and Al together. I'm just a huge fan of their playing as a rhythm section with Joe Henderson and so forth. And of course, they're all their experience with Miles Davis and so forth. But anyway, we were playing a song, a little bit of a medley, and Ron started quoting the theme from Batman. It was amazing the way he was doing it. He just owned it, and it was incredible. So if you can imagine Ron Carter playing the theme from Batman in double stops, 2 notes at a time, that's what it sounded like. It sounded like Ron Carter playing the theme from Batman. So I leave you with that and something else. Stellar by Star Moon. Anyway, that was a little derangement of mine that I've done over the years, little differently. But that's a little bit of a distorted Stella by Starlight. And thanks again for hanging out, and great to see you all, if only virtually, and hopefully we'll get to see you in person on down the line. But we'll see you next week. Okay. Be well.